Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining the session. Myself, Swati Shirsat. I am the founder and CEO of TechWorks Upskill e-learning. Today, we have Guru with us, Guru Ramasamy, who would be taking you through the session. Also, we have Dr. Raju sir with us, who would be mentoring us in the end of the session. And let me take this opportunity to introduce Guru sir. So Guru sir himself is a CISSP and CISS certified. He holds total 15 years of experience and in the IT industry, and out of that, total 11 years counts in the GRC. And he himself is actively involved in ISO 42001 implementation these days. He's been part of a lot of boot camps happening in Chennai. So I'll not take much of the time, and over to you, Guru sir.
Thank you, Swati, for the nice introductions. Good morning, all. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you all for joining this session. Okay. See, before we start, right? So, how many of you think AI will replace your job? Just if you are feeling right, just write yes in your chat box. If you are not feeling, then no. Just I would like to know your responses. Yes. Okay, no, that's great. It's a confidence on your skills and that's great. No, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for all the responses. Yeah. So nowadays AI will everyone has a challenge that AI will replace my job, right? So if you have the thought process, what the AI skills AI has lacking it, right? That intuitions, the thinking power, right? Critical thinking, the humanity. That's if those skills we have, right? So no one will going to be replaced us, right? So in the Saturday morning, so everyone was spending the time to upgrade your skills, right? That feels a good sign that no one will replace that human. With that said, I will get into the topic. I'll be sharing my screen. One second, allow me time. Yeah, anyone please confirm my screen is visible?
Sir, it's visible, but are you showing the PPT?
Yes.
PPT is not visible. I mean, some blank screen is visible.
Is it fine now?
No. Maybe you can close and again start sharing.
Okay.
Or shall I share for you?
Sure, 1 second.
No, it is still the same thing.
Okay, can you please go ahead and share the screen if it's
Yeah.
Okay, sorry for the inconvenience.
Which one? Session 1?
Session 1, yeah.
Yeah, visible?
Yeah, it's visible. It's visible for me. Okay. It's okay. Today, so we are going to be talk about and that artificial intelligence management systems. Before we get into that artificial intelligence management systems, we will talk about that basic terminologies, underlying concepts, which is in a governance aspect, uh, aligned with the artificial intelligence. To start with governance, what is governance according to you all? Just feel free to add your thoughts, maybe over the chat, or you can unmute yourself. The governance. When you hear the word governance, what comes to your mind? I'm waiting for your responses. Let's
To
make it as
govern is
interactive.
to have a control or something.
Okay, governance. This is a control. Yeah, that's good perspective. Thanks for adding. Okay, thank you for the response. Yeah, governance is a set of rules which is giving the right directions. Yep. Yeah, managing, setting up policies, procedures, defining the roles and response. Yeah, that's also great. As the governance all about setting the directions, boundaries, what the value we are going to get out of it, a business, and the governance, the business objective, whatever the actions we are taking, the program we are taking, the initiatives which organization or individuals taking, it's need to be aligned with that boundaries. This is a set of rules, the regulations, policies, and then controls, right? That's what's come to the governance. Let's try to relate with that family, right? As a parent, how you are we? Maybe just giving a simple analogy. So we have the set of rules for every families based on the culture, the geography, right? The society's needs. Be the restricting the screen hours for the children and giving a good education, the limiting the time of bedtime. So we'll be giving that restriction set of guidelines to the children. That's how we are raising the children with a good value, right? So it's the humanity, helping each others. That's what setting a set of rules. That's the governance aspects. Okay, let's talk about in upcoming slides maybe how that we can relate with the organization aspects. Now we'll move to the next. Can you please move on to the next slide? Okay. So as we discussed, it is a governance is a set of rules, frameworks, policies which is need to be followed in the organization level. It's a general. So when AI governance, so how we are going to be govern the AI aspects, which can be whatever the role we are playing, right? Will be day-to-day life we are using the artificial intelligence. Our role may be the AI developer, AI data producers, maybe the end users, whatever our roles it should be, we need to ensure the ethical way, transparent and accountability. When we are talking, when we consider about the security as aspect, right, information security aspects, we will be considering the three main pillars, CAA triads, right? Confidentiality, integrity and availability. That's the security aspects. So in our information management systems, we'll mostly talk about the CA aspects and then people, process and technology. And when we considering the artificial intelligence, we need to be more focused on ethical way, transparent and accountability, who are taking the role of the which role they are playing, the developer or end user, the software developing organization, or they release reselling the product. So they have to be ensure that ethical way, how we are be going to be ensure that one. That's we need a structured program in place. That's what governance comes into the place to give that best practices on that. uh, can you move on to the next slides? Okay. So when we are discussing the AI governance, so four factors which plays a major role, which is first the ethical way. Whatever we do, the software we developing or the end user. As an end user, if I'm using a chat GPT or any other AI tools, I need to be consider the purpose which I am using. Is it safe? I'm handling the safe way. Is it anything going to be harmful for the society? We need to, it's not impact the value of human, right? So we need to consider the ethical way. That's what we discussed on that first aspects, right? In the governance aspect, when we are raising the kids in our family, we are teaching the good values, not to what to need to do, what not to do, right? The smart way. Instead of teaching them the smart tricks to do that, we are creating a good value humanity out of for them, right? The same aspects, when the organization is need to be considered the ethical way, instead of focusing only the business aspects, anything whatever they do, how it's helpful for the society, is it anything harmful for the society, it's like it will impact any human aspects, right? uh, that that level of considerations the organization need to be take consider the ethical concern. To move on to the second, the privacy aspects. So what is a privacy? What is privacy according to you all? I'm looking for your responses in the chat, or you can unmute yourself. Yeah, Vijay.
Privacy is something, some information which cannot be shared across, cannot be made public.
Okay, informations cannot be shared the public, it's need to be in a private mode, the personal data. Yeah, let's take an as an end user. I'm not any part of the organization, I'm going to be use any chat GPT or copilot to make my job easy, right? So when I whatever the prompt I'm giving, maybe my phone number, my location details, the personal details, if I'm sharing the over information to the modules, which will capture that information, it may use it may be handed over to the hackers. Maybe this information can be misused. There is a high possibilities, right? So we need to be considered as a end users aspects, what the informations we are sharing with the other public to the chat GPT and other prompt engineering, right? We need to restrict what are the informations we are giving it. Maybe those the data will be used to train these models. Maybe that's the reason. If it is our personal informations or our organization confidential information, it will be overloaded or loaded into that, uploaded into the public platform. Those informations used to get the train the models, or maybe it may be handed into the hackers hands. That's it will create a privacy impact. So how we are organization or individuals are going to be restrict or reduce the impact of privacy related risk, governance related things. So the governance plays a major role to reduce the impact of privacy aspects. To move on to the next, the accountability. The accountability, it plays a major role if something goes wrong, right? So in our organization, let's take I'm taking the developing on application. If it's not giving the right output, what is expected? So there is a chance maybe I can blame that, okay, the developing team will not given the proper testing, or maybe we can blame someone. Okay, okay, the test data is not valid, so we don't have adequate data to develop the particular to train the LLM model. There is a there is no one there is a chance no one take the responsibilities. But the same way, that's what we have, the organization have that RASI matrix in place, right? Responsibility, accountability, consulting, and informed, which means if anything happen, where this is is this person's consult with these concerns before deploying into the production environment. This person is informed to them So okay, this is what the change ticket change management is going to be planned on so and so's time if it is informed. But the similar way, if you are developing that artificial intelligence, maybe artificial intelligence systems, if anything's harmful to the humanity, who is going to be take the accountability? The developer who developed the system, or the product owner who sold their system, sold this applications? This needs to be classified or particularly maintained. Someone has to take that responsibilities, the outcome which is given by that artificial intelligence systems. With that, I'll move on to the fourth one, the global impact. So we are not, as organization, even as a individuals, organization level, any product which you are developing, which is not particularly for this particular region or particular country, it will be moved across the globe, right? The countries may have the different cultures, different the societal status, right? So one, if you're developing that any application, it's not suits for all the organization, maybe all the countries, right? One size will not fit for that all. But when we considering the creating that applications, we need to be considered global cooperations, how we can use this platform while considering the across the globe, which will not harmful for their societies as well. This is a major categories we need to be consider while creating the governance aspects of artificial intelligence. That we will move on to the next. Okay. So far we discussed the importance of AI governance. Okay, well, creating a AI governance, what are the things we need to be considered? The key principles I will consider. I will discuss in this slide now. The first, the transparency. Whatever the AI systems will give that output, we are not, as a human, we are not taking that output as a what the output given by AI systems, right? Maybe for an example, if I'm asking that prompt to calculate 1 plus 1, it gives a 1 plus 3. If we are not able to understand the logic behind it, why does output come, right? This will not ensure the transparency, how it is, what is the logical behind it. This is, it's not going to be the trusted. So whenever we develop any artificial systems, we need to ensure the transparency of this applications. To illustrate that one, right? Let example, if you are going to be consult with the doctors, they are prescribing some medicines to that. If the doctor is not explaining why this medicine has prescribes, we are not going to be trusted, right? Maybe it's not give the confidence it's going to be cure my illness, right? So why the decision has been made, how the decision is made, it's need to be clearly explained. It's need to be explainable. That's what the transparency is the key principles in AI governance. The next key principles, fairness. It's about fairness is all about not taking the one side, right? To take an example, if the organization planning to give the promotion to the team members, their eligible members are two. One is a male and another one is a female, right? Maybe if you are taking the advantage over the male, okay, we are going to be give that promotion for the male. It's a biased. It's not fair as it's need to be considered what the metrics decided to give the promotions, not taking the one side. We need to ensure that fairness when giving that when considering the AI governance aspects. We discussed on accountability. If something goes wrong, who will be going to be take their responsibilities, and then privacy parts as well. We are sharing information, the organization informations to the AI system. It's not going to be harm that any personal identifiable information, the end users, we need to be ensured that privacy aspects as well in the AI governance. The last but not the least, the security aspects. So how we are going to be ensure that privacy aspects, mostly the security guys aware, right? So privacy and securities go hand in hand, right? So how we are going to be protected from the misuse, error, hacker sites. So we have the defense in depth controls. So if one goes wrong, right, what are the preventive mechanism, detective mechanism, corrective mechanism we have in place? This all needs to be ensured, consider under AI governance principles. So in nutshell, so for the transparency, it's all about how the decision are made, uh, why it's made. The fairness is all about no bias. It's sometimes it's intentionally or unintentionally, the system will take a decision bias based on the what data we feed in, what the data, based on the what data it's the model is trained. It may take a fair, unbiased decisions. So we need to ensure that right set of data to ensure that to develop the AI systems, which will give that it will avoid the unfair in these systems. Okay, let's move on to the next. Okay, potential risk related to the AI. I'm skipping this slide as of now. So we have covered in the key principles and the importance of AI principles. Let's move on to the next. Okay, let's discuss how the systems, AI systems works, right? So it's data is a new oil, right? So without the data, train the models, we have to, the large chunk of data need to be given, right? So when data is collected, it's need to be classified what type of data it's meant to be. It's need to be structured based on the business objective, what are the business goals they are going to be achieved. Once the data is collected, then it's going to the LLM model, large language model. The data is processed with the algorithms. We're not going to be touch deep on this, how the algorithms works on it. So based on this algorithms and feed, so it's give the prediction. So for an example of climate, so how is the weather it's today, or the weather is all about the next 7 days or 1 month, the weather predictions and other aspects, right? Based on our, let's take an example of e-commerce systems. So based on my purchase history, what I have ordered in my cart, right? It give the predictions. Okay, this is the offer is coming on next 2 days. So you can, it's give the notification to do that. So that's a one of kind of based on the input which is given, the based on the how the data is trained, the logics applied to the data, which give the predictions, which also is it's mainly used for based on the data. It's not going to be it's give the notification like our food applications, e-commerce applications, weather monitoring tools, right? How we are giving the predictions, and based on that, the other one is a generative AI. We're not going to be touched deep on the now as a how our type of AI and all. It's based on the data we given, the logic we have applied, how it's the data is trained. It the prompt we have given, it's give the generative output, which is it can be the text, image, or voice over, right? So what are the prompts we have given? That's how it works. uh, can you move on to the next? Any questions, team, so far on the importance of AI governance principles? Any questions so far? Yes, no?
No, sir.
No. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, let's move on to the next. So the major tech stacks in the artificial intelligence management system. So the first we discussed on the importance of the data. So it's, without the data, it's not going to be, it's not able to develop any applications what we are going to be achieved. The data is plays a major role. Then what type of data we are giving, it's a majorly important when considering the securities aspect. So who what type of which is used, for example, if you're related with the privacy information, when you are training the modules, the personal information should not be used. So we'll try to minimize the usage of data. But in other aspects, we need a large chunk of data to train it. So in that aspects, we need to balance the both data minimization, which is what type of information which we are giving, and then it's we need to feed the enough data to the train the module. So the data plays a major role in it. And then algorithm, it's a what type of instructions, the rules, the predictions, it's like a simple logic, right? If no conditions, right? So if it's conditions meet, the rules regulations what we are giving, that's all about the algorithm. And then third aspects, the infrastructure. So we have a set of rules, algorithm in place, data in place. So we need a infrastructures to host it, to run it, maybe, right? Nowadays GPUs more relevant, it's required more computing power, storage powers to build this data, right? So it's a, mostly nowadays the organization using the cloud related cloud infrastructures. Maybe they can go for a utilize the benefits of cloud. Maybe they can scale up whenever they need it, they can scale down it, right? So clouds also plays a major role in AI governance aspects. Can we move on to the next? Yeah, you. Let's talk about that trustworthy and responsible AI. The responsible AI. So what is the responsibles according to you all? Anyone? Am I audible? The responsibilities, what is the responsibilities according to you? I'm looking for a chat, or maybe you can unmute yourself.
It should be according to the ethics.
Ethics, following the ethics. Perfect. Okay, the responsibilities, it's all about what type of, how we are designing, how we are building, what are the ethics, as admin mentioned, right? I'm not sure your name, right? So what are the ethics we are giving? It's all about feeding the input. Let's take an example. If you are giving a prompt, right, in a chat GPT, you will receive one output, right? So first the response, maybe we can fine tune it. The second prompt, we can elaborate it, right? So what is the situation, what I'm trying to look, what type of output we are looking. If you're giving the more input, it will give that what type of answers we are looking for, right? So the responsibilities, it's all about the input. So when I say the input, the input should be the very responsibility, ethical way, and fairness, the transparency, right? And we need to be consider the privacy aspects as well, right? What type of information we are sharing, and most importantly the accountability. Whatever I am giving the input, I am the responsible accountable persons. So the responsibility is all about that, giving the input, what type of input we are giving. To take an example, right? As you are a manager for your organization, it's not about a manager or leader for in your organization. It's not, leadership's not all about that result. It's a process, right? The managers, leaders will ensure are the team members following that right set of rules, are they treating them each other right, responsibility, are they taking that action for it, what they responsible for what the action they have performed it, right? That's all about that value we are giving it. So in the nutshell, the responsibility is all about what type of data we are building, designing with the ethical way. And then trustworthy, it's all about outcome. So if I'm not giving a instruction to my child, so what's need to be in the right proper way, he may do end up with the doing wrong, right? So I will not trust that output, the action he's taken, right? So the similar example of the previously we discussed, right? The medicine. So when we are consulting with the doctor, what type of medicines is giving, right? So based on the analogies, the diagnostic systems which X-ray, ECG, right? So based on that proper diagnosis, he may give that out prediction, prescribe the medicines, right? So it's all about the outcome. So in the nutshell, the responsibility, it's all about giving the proper input, and then trustworthy, it's all about how outcome of the input which have given. The most important we need to be considered the trustworthy AI, it should not impact that any human, the society, right? We need to be consider the environment factor as well, well, when building the AI systems. Can you move on to the next? Yeah, these are a few building blocks for a trustworthy AI. What's need to be considered: the safety, the security, its aspect, the resilience. So if I'm building, buying any softwares from the vendor, they have to be in the market for the long period. So if I'm purchasing it, if you're not available for future response, we're not going to be trusted, right? And then accountability, the transparency, which we already covered it. I'm not going to be touched deep onto that as of today's session. So these are the few key building blocks: privacy, safety, accountability, transparency, and fairness. Most importantly, the fairness and privacy. Can we move on to the next one? Yeah, this similar to that building blocks for the responsibility. What type of you are giving the input? We need to be considered the security, reliability, and human centric, which will not harm that society or a human. When we are building it, we nowadays we can use that chat GPT and other AI tool for a two-way, right? Digital world is a double-edged sword. So how we are going to be use it, right? So if we are, it's all about our ethics. Yeah, we can move to the next. Yep. Let's touch upon the few approaches for AI for today. The black box AI. So we talked about the transparencies, right? So, how that LLMs take the decision, why it's take a decision. It's we are not able to conclude how the output is driven. It's a black box. It's simple yes or no, right? It's based on output. We are not able to understand the logic behind it. It's a black box approach. Then white box, it's a simple logic based on the rules we are giving if and while conditions, like if it's the conditions meet, this is a decision which are right. Then the simplified AI, it's a basic predictions based on what we have purchase history in the e-commerce portal, or maybe based on our watch history from the online platform, right? Amazon, Prime, or Netflix, right? Based on what type of genres we watched frequently, what languages we watch frequently, right? Based on that, it will give you the predictions. Okay, we can go and watch this. The explainable AI, it's what it's related to the that it's ensures the transparency how the decisions has been made. It's directly opposite to the black box AI. It's ensured that transparency. It's like a glass. Okay, this is how the decision has been made and why the decision has been made. Let's ensure that explainable a approach. Then hybrid, it's based on the business records, business objective. The organization may go for a both, right? It's maybe simple, the combination of any two in the above, black box or white box. It's a hybrid approach. Can we move on to the next? Okay, here the few applications related to the use cases related to the e-commerce. Okay, product recommendation, it's based on the prediction, and it's ensure the AI may helpful for the inventory maintenance and chatbot. So if we can purchase based on the chatbot input we can giving, and visual search. Sometimes if I need a particular product, I'm not able to find the name of it, I can take a picture of that product which we needed, and we can upload into the e-commerce portal. It gives the suggestions, okay, the product availabilities and all. There's a few use cases for e-commerce, and then we'll move on to the next. Yeah, there's a few use cases for cyber security. We can consider like cyber security in AI and AI in cyber security. So that's sort of when we first discussed, right? So the thought process and our critical thinking, right? This is how we can use it. If we in cyber security AI, so it's giving a threat detections. Maybe how quickly we can able to detect that threats in our organization environment. We can respond it quickly to reduce that impact. So threat detections, and it's related to the incident response process. So we can reduce that impact as soon as we identify the threats. Okay, and also it's give the vulnerability management. So we can identify the vulnerability quickly based on AI driven approach. So it suggests the solutions, what are the actions need to be taken to mitigate that's vulnerability identified. This is a few use cases in cyber security. So we can consider for the security aspects as well when we discuss in the few principles, right? So we need to ensure that cyber security in AI as well, for the AI governance. Yeah, we can go to the next. Any questions, team, so far? Someone going first?
Sir, it's a bit fast, but able to understand.
Okay, thank you so much for the input. So let me take care. I reduce my face. Yeah. So why we need to be consider the governance, A governance, how the AMS will helpful for the A governance, right? When the initial aspect, right, the key importance, right, we discussed in a global impact. So every country has their own rules and regulations, right? So for an example, EU region, they have the GDPR, Data Protection Regulations Act, and the California Customer Act, and US as well as the HIPAA. How we are the organization or individuals going to be protect the patient's information, right? So this all covers the privacy aspects as well. If some organization or individuals are violate these policy laws, they have to pay the huge penalty, the liability to the regulatory and then the customers, the regulatory recommends. So we have to obey the laws as per the law of land. Okay, and other the copyright law, patent laws, and trade secret. If you are violating that copyright law, trade, right, we need to pay the penalty. So that's what we discussed on the ethics, fairness, the transparency, and mainly the ethics and transparency, right? Why you are using, what you are using, right? We need to be very clear on it before you using the copyrighted data, right? So can we move on to the next one? Yeah. There are other few laws which related to the artificial intelligence. So it's most importantly Europe Union Artificial Intelligence Act and AI licensing. It's like a contract, right? So if I'm given if I'm going to be sign the contract with the organization ABC, they may create a mutual agreement with contractual obligations. So they mutually agreeing, so I need to be follow this kind of contractual obligations to ensure that securities aspects, the business service level agreement, if it's not a 90% as a 70%, 80% based on the agreement, the organization has to pay the liability penalty for that, right? So this is a few law categories which is across the globe, right? So why I am trying to cover this aspect, right? So I'm trying to relate with that artificial intelligence management system before we touching upon that introduction aspect of AMS. Every organization needs to be considered as the law of land and that business objective, right? Yeah, let's move on to the next one. Yeah, it's all about the liability, which touched upon this. Just move on to the next. Yeah, to ensure that business objective set of roles, every organization has their own vision, and then business objective. The every actions, the board of directors or senior leaderships has taking it, right? It's need to be aligned with their mission statement and their business objective. That's where the governance comes into the place, right? Writing policies, giving the direction to the employees what's need to be achieved. Then the it's governance all about the setting the directions, the management, the team will drive to this direction. So the strategic planning to the project management, how the team going to be executed, the management team will take care of to achieve this goal. And then data strategy, as the data is a main bread and butter for the AI management to train it. So we need to be ensure that data cycle management, the data life cycle in the sense, the data goes into 6 stages. If I'm creating for an example, if I have we have created this presentation, like taken as an example as the data creation, then it's to be stored in a particular hard disk or maybe in the cloud, the data store device, store stage. Then we are processing it now, so the data process stage. Then it will be stored for the future purpose, the data archive, right? And then if it's no longer record, it's need to be destroyed, right? Is the data retention comes to the place, how long the organization can keep the data, and how over the period how they are going to be destroyed, right? Maybe the organization going to use the cloud for the data usage, the crypto shading. So maybe even though if you are deleting the data, there is a chance for the high chance for the recovery of data, right? So maybe more underlying infrastructures is in the control of cloud provider, there is a high chance, right, for the data recovery. So the crypto shading plays a major role. It's nothing but giving encryption for the multiple time, not sharing the encryption keys with the cloud provider. So we'll be owning it. So the data life cycle and underlying infrastructure, whether what type of infrastructure is on-prem or a cloud, or if it's a cloud, there is a huge responsibility, like the shared responsibilities. What the cloud provider will take it, take the set of actions. As a cloud users, what are the organization responsibilities to ensure that controls like identity access management, the privilege access management, vulnerability management lifecycle, change management. So how that the organization will take the response, uh, right set of controls, and ensuring the effectiveness of each controls, right? It plays a major role. Like there are few use cases, the technology aspects, the workforce, the project management, how we are hiring the right set of skill set people, right? So even if you have the enough platform in place, if you're not trained resources to utilize it, the projects maybe go on live at the given timeline, right? So these are the few factors: the workforce, ethics, project roadmap, the final, the continuous monitoring, right? Even if you are building something, if you are developed it, it's not going, the job is done. It's need to be continually monitored for the future improvement, or maybe any bug in it, so it's need to be identified as quickly as possible, uh, and the necessary team is to be take that necessary action. There's a few categories strategies to, it's the high level, it's the benchmark. So we can try to how the AAMS will help to ensure this kind of category. So that's a reason I'm giving the high level on this strategy. Any questions so far? So we haven't touched about the AAMS as of now. So before we are going to be touch on the AAMS, any questions so far? Yes, no?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, yes ma'am, we can go to the next slide. Yeah, we can start with the first slide. Okay. Okay. So now we discuss the basic terms and few underlying concepts on the governance, which related to the artificial intelligence. Now we will dig deep into that artificial intelligence management as for ISO. What stands for ISO? Can anyone share it? What is ISO? When you hear the word ISO, what's come to your mind? You can unmute yourself. I'm waiting for the responses. Am I audible? Just giving you.
Yes.
Yeah, the answer is in.
Recognized.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, sorry, someone's saying. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Recognized.
Recognize. Okay, which means they're certified. So if you are a ISMS certified, you will be get recognized as a lead auditor, lead implementer. The similar way, if the organization is certified, it's giving the recognition, right? This give the reputation, minimum assurance the organization has some level of controls in place, right? The strategy which we discussed on the previous slide. Yeah, thank you so much for the response. Yeah, initially, so when I hear that ISO, right, I will be in the impression international standards for organization. That's what everyone's minds come to, right? ISO, international standard for organization. But we have to forget about that. We need to relearn, right? It's a international organization for standardization. You can use that similar words, right? Yeah, here given that title, right? International organization standardization. It's not international standard for organization. This standards ISO, it's published the around 25,000 of standards frameworks for various practice. For example, quality management, the risk management, uh, information securities management. Like there are n number of standards which is available in the ISO, which is around 167 members countries as member for this ISO standards. But we have touched upon that the global collaborations. Every country has the different rules, regulations, they have different cultures, right? So it's need to be aligned with that one standard, even if the not fit for all. So they can use the standards, they can customize it based on it's make a job easier to customize it. uh, it's ensure mostly the safe, reliable, and good quality. Yeah, that's what mostly will come to our mind, right? When ISO 9001, it's a quality standard, right? So it's ensure the safety, reliability, and good quality. Yeah, we can move on to the next slide. Yeah, so IEC. Next, we'll touch upon the next. What is relevant to the ISO? International Electrotechnical Commissions, which also create standards to ensure the safety, compatible, and efficient when we any electrical devices, electrical mechanisms which has been created, right? The International Electrotechnical Commissions ensure the given the standards for the electricity, electronics related technologies. There are around 170 plus countries are member of this ISE. Let's move on to the next slide. Here, the ISO and ISE joins together, ensure that IT and electronics giving the combined standard to ensure the safety, quality, and reliable products. So that's what we will be seeing, right? ISO, ISE standards. Wherever we see the document name, guidance or standards, it will be there ISO, ISE. So mostly we will be giving the name like ISO standards, but it is a combine of both ISO and ISE. Yeah. So most of you are aware, maybe if you are in the background of information security, 27001 is a standard for information security management system. The similar way, the 42001 gives a standard approach set of guidelines to ensure that artificial intelligence management systems, so which will it will be the globally recognized. The organization can go ready-made handily to customize it to ensure that what the product they are using, even though if the product not developed by the organization, the end users, maybe for an example, for organization A, there is a no play role to playing in the artificial intelligence. Nowadays every individual using AI tools, whether it is to draft an email or maybe the spell check or maybe the productivity tools to create a PPT or converting the file, the end users are using it. So how the responsibly the end user is going to be need to take that users artificial intelligence tools. The organization has to set the policies in place, do's and don'ts of using AI. That's also plays a major role. That's what to in the nutshell, it's giving a set of rules and standards and controls to ensure that artificial governance, artificial intelligence management. We'll move on to the next. Okay, we'll touch upon these components of ISO 42001. Then we can go for a Q&A. Okay, that's the plan today. Okay, so we'll in the previous slides we have discussed on the strategy, right? Data governance, writing the policies, continuous improvement, the ethical usage. This all is covered in. This will be classified into the two categories, like a classes and annex. The classes has 10 classes, which means it's giving a mandatory. These are even if you are the organization is going for a AIMS certification, this 10 classes needs to be implemented. It is a mandatory. But when coming to the annexures A give the set of controls list. So which means is around 38 controls in this annexure A. But this 38 control, it's not mandatory. The organization can use the customization based on what's their role. Are they a developer or a software reseller or end users, right? That 38 controls, they can customize it. For that, they have one more class, subclasses section is it statement of applicability. So when we are choosing this 38 controls, the organization need to be clearly documented. Yes, this control A 1.1 is applicable for so and so reason. This the control ABC is implemented or partially or not implemented. They need to be give this justification. If control A.2 it's not applicable, they have to be capture it carefully. The reason for not applicable, then it's control is not required, right? The statement of applicability is also a major role that annexure A, and annexures B is a, it's not a mandatory, it's a it's give the set of guidance. Guidance in the sense we may use it, it's for optional. We can use it for a step-by-step instruction or guidelines to how we can implement those controls which is mentioned in the annexure A. Right. These are the annexure C is giving the set of risk associated with that organizational standards level, maybe which industries they are, right? The healthcare, the automobile, based on industry level, they're giving the list of risk. In the nutshell, they are giving the 10 classes which is mandatory. The annexures which is not mandatory, they can go for it customer. And in this 10 classes, class 1, 2, 3, it's a common for all the organization. Specifically it's just every which when we are writing the policies, we are giving the scope, right? This class 1 mentioning about the scope of that ISMS AAMS, so how it will be used for this organization, and normative references and terms and conditions which using the same language, maybe for the each organization. If I'm we are using, maybe we are from the different regions, maybe we have our own different native language, right? Here we are using the same English as a common language to understand each other's, right? The similar way, the set of terms and conditions defined in these classes. Okay, what is a user? Just for an example, term definitions for a user: governance, the class, monitoring, continuous process. This will be given the class 3. On class 4 to class 10, it's highly important for every organization go for before going to go for the certification. They have to be implement this one. What those classes we can do, discuss deep into the next sessions. Yeah, with this we can go wind up this. Hope this is fine. So we can continue in the upcoming slides. Yeah, we can go previous slide, previous slides, ma'am. Yeah, previous slides. Yeah. Yeah. With this, we can conclude this today's session. Is there any questions? We can go for open the floor for the questions. Yeah, we can move to the Q&A question, last slide. So it should not give the confusions to everyone. Hello.
So maybe let the audience think about the questions. We can introduce Raju sir, and then he'll talk for some time, and then we can have collective questions accordingly.
Yeah, fine for me. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's great.
So, Dr. Raju sir is coming from a very vast background in cyber and GRC. That is of 32 years of experience, more than that, if I'm not wrong. So he's into the cyber field when most of us were not knowing the C of the cyber also. So his expertise currently is into the R&D of AI governance and is working on the projects. We will not disclose those projects here right now. Also, he's coming from a very varied background. That he's an entrepreneur. He's a CEO of his company. Then he's coming from some management background too, and he himself is ISO 42001 LA certified. So, sir, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Swati. Now became good morning to good afternoon now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now let me share my screen just because he has covered everything. I would like to share a few quick things before talking to
Sure.
the team. Hope you can see my screen, I believe.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So I myself, what I do, most of the time, I will publish a lot of articles on LinkedIn because I'm getting a lot of inquiries, but I cannot talk one-on-one most of the time because of my other commitments. So recently, day before yesterday, this is what I'm trying to say. Like last 2 years, I'm talking to so many AI experts actually because I came from the development background because I know in and out what how I am doing, how I am taking the data, how I am talking to the client, problem identification, then come up with various algorithms, finally fine tuning as a model, then how to evaluate the model, then once you deploy the model, what is the performance of the model down the line, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 9 months. Like these are hands-on expertise we are doing, and we found out a lot of issues actually because we understand that it is a operational efficiency. Yeah, I understand that, but there are lot of issues we are having. So this is a recent one just I want to share with you people. This is a Swedish fintech company. Just I want to show so this is the first statement. You can see that this is in the, they have 5,000, almost 5,000 plus staff is there. They want to reduce it. And what the CEO of that Klarna is trying to claim is whatever the chatbot they did, that is as good as equal to 700 full-time staff. Okay, that makes sense, right? Then what is the second article on that? These are all newspaper stuff I am talking about. So again, based on that, their confidence, they have cut down the jobs, right? They have taken out the jobs more than 2,000 plus approximately. These are all the links of the article. Then they realized actually, see within a year, you see where the data, August 28th, 2024, then they started May 2018, 2025 itself. They reversed their decision. They say that most of the customers, right, they are like to talk to the people. Because I came from BFSI background, I worked with Zurich Financials and Visa. Those are my major clients. In addition to that, I worked with the top 5 consulting companies and almost 10 years in the USA. I spent most of my time with the senior management when I was at USA location. You can see that this is what I'm claiming last 2 years. I'm trying to educate the people from the AI perspective. AI can be used to operational efficiency, not for 100% automation. If someone says 100% automation, I have not seen it at least. Maybe some use cases like, for example, face recognition, right? That can be achieved more than 95% plus, right? So that is a very small use case. When you are talking about the BFSI, there are, I think already have gone through, right? Some acts, some statutory complaints. Those are the things very primary and important. Finally, what happened after this, right? They have go back to automation to human AI hybrid model. This is what exactly we suggest. What we suggest to the clients is your AI solutions plus human intervention is equal to client solutions. Always we believe in human intervention is very, very necessary, right? That we talk about transparency, privacy. These are like all 7 principles, right? You're talking about. These are like everywhere human intervention will be there. Actually, we see end to end what is happening. Even data is biased, algorithm is biased. Even the person who is developing the code, the program itself is biased, right? You never know. All those things it has to be validated by AI governance. So to avoid that, they might have done this one. See, they might have done. That's why I given clauses, associated clauses, how it is going to address the same problem. That I have given article by article. Finally, what the impact is. You see the impact: loss of consumer trust, right, and reputational damage, and workforce disruption, because the person who left the organization last year, around 2,000 plus people, they might have joined a good organization by this time. You don't get same person, right? Again, you have to train the people. Then regulatory risk, already we are talking about, right? So then these are the issues. If they should have implemented, if they implemented ISO, just assume that, right? They might have identified all these problems. What can be automated, what cannot be automated. So that they might have got operational efficiency by 65 to 70. That may be reduced to the their employee count. Maybe that may be efficiency of the employees also can be improved. Well, both way. I can take positive and negative way. It's not as I said, right? AI is not going to cut the jobs. Even yesterday I read the article. If I say something, people maybe not value, but if Bill Gates says, yes, people will value. Yesterday he's talking about one of the newspaper. I gone through his article. They said there are 8.9 crore jobs is going to fade away because of AI, but there are 9.5 crores jobs are going to create. That is good news, right? Even 10% more. So we have to use all these techniques, thought process, use for to improve our efficiency, or whatever it is, whatever you call to serve the clients, right? So I'm going to show one more screen. This is last week. Let me increase the size. Yeah, I hope you can see that. So last week I was in Bangalore. Actually, I was in Bangalore for 4 days to audit, a stage 2 audit for Memphis, actually, because there are 16 locations they have across the globe, and around nine locations are in scope for us. Memphis already people well aware of 30,000 plus employees count. So we have gone through the in and out, actually, because I went there as a technical expert, not expert, not as an auditor. Of course, I am a part of the auditing team, but I am a consultant for T-Suite, actually, because they selected me based on my credentials. Then we went to gone through all their artifacts, whatever is in scope, they mentioned it. And the beauty part is the additional thing what we have seen is there is a, you can see I'm highlighting here, National Accreditation Board for Certification bodies. When we are auditing the client, there is a witness audit, actually, because this is the first time is happening in India. How we are doing it? There is a special team came from this body. There are eminent people. I don't like to name. They are part of our ISO body, actually. They are representing on behalf of India for ISO. They are able to create all these manuals. Those people, came as a witness audit, because when we are doing it, they are looking at whether we are following the process, then asking the right questions, able to identify the different issues. Then we are going to convert into major or minor conformities. Already people may be knowing all those things. So these are the things we went and did it, and finally of course we recommended, because this is stage 2. I am not part of stage 1. Stage 1 we have more customers. This is the team, actually, the whole team. I am right hand side. I am the height over here. You can see here myself, right? Myself, and this guy is a lead auditor from, because he has done more than 1,400 hours. Sorry, 1,400 hours. So this is just why I'm sharing this. This is where I have published more than 30 articles on this. When I am learning, last month, I think I got July 10th, something like that. I got certified as a 42K. And earlier to that, only one organization in 2024, only Infosys has taken this certification. Later on, I think we have some companies as opting out for this certificate, right? So what we realized is, because I am from Hyderabad, I'm basically working from the T-Hub. Actually, everyone knows T-Hub in Hyderabad is a very familiar thing. So then, okay, let me stop sharing it. Yeah, let me start video also because it takes like I think so. That's what I think. You can see me also. Okay, so we are like formed as a group of intellectual people, more than 40 people so far in our group. We formed as a world AI governance actually. So almost everyone is more or less my kind of people. Maybe they are expert in AI, they are expert in information security, and they are good in auditing. They have experience in multi-diversity fields sectors, and we are propagating the these concepts well into the from high school stage onwards. Not only we are talking about at organization level, but we are talking about at school level itself. If someone is learning AI at school level, what are the controls we need to fix it at college level, at engineering level, right? So when it go to the organization level, so these are the rules and frameworks we are preparing as a part of World AI Governance. I am the president, president for that organization to take care of all the activities. So of course, Shweta is also part of our body. Then that is why I'm here to address you people. So whatever covered earlier, it's almost pretty covered almost 100%. But we talk about more about use cases, because I came from BFSI domain. You understand, right? There are a lot of compliances in finance. Wherever money is involved, compliance will be there, right? So we have shown only few things. There are two things. One is act, another is compliance or statutory body. So we have to abide by all the regulatory things. Then only you can see that. So this is the one certificate I seal because earlier I'm an auditor for internal auditor for ISO 27 and 9K to implement for my organizations. And I think this is the first certification where you need to know a little bit technology is involved in these certifications, because of course you are come from development background or AI background, definitely it is a good for you. When you are coming from the auditing background, earlier I have seen some people so it looks like 27K or 9K, familiar with that. And if they are learning, what I advise you people is learn some technology also, right? Basic things, very basic things. Learn how the data can be captured, how the data takes, then what are the different algorithms. People are talking about so many buzzwords, right? In machine learning, deep learning, LLMs, right? So don't worry too much about that. All are belongs to statistical algorithms only. Okay. So these are the points I want to add. So if you want more stuff, you can just go through my LinkedIn profile. Then you can see almost 30 plus articles exclusive. I'm talking about the importance of AI governance. Okay. So any questions from anyone? Okay, so it looks
no questions from my end, but I appreciate that articles which you are. I'll definitely go and read those articles. Thank you so much.
Okay.
For sharing. Yeah.
In addition to that, I published more than 300 plus articles on LinkedIn intentionally because this is because my passion is teaching actually. So I work for multiple MNCs as a AI advisor and part of their product development. So I am looking into development of the product on left hand side, and right hand side I'm looking into AI governance too, because make sure that, because those are insurance, fintech and insurtech. So this should be very, very cautiously we have to adhere to that. And other things are the use cases actually. Use cases, industry use cases, how people are struggling, right, to identify the use cases, because we work more than 5,000 plus use cases. So we look into doing a kind of research oriented analysis, not question to answer technologies. So that's what our team is doing actually. Yeah. If anyone have any questions related to ISO or your career in AI governance, that should be future, I believe. Most of the time I can see that. And I've seen so many AI applications which was implemented or failed actually, but no one is publishing it. Unfortunately, we need to know the failure stories first before the success stories, so that we cannot try right in that direction. That will help us. And I thought of collecting some use cases from different articles, and I'm consolidating everything and publishing here so that it will be very handy for the people. So what you are not supposed to do, you are learning what to do, but what you are not supposed to do also you should learn.
That's true, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions? I'll be happy to answer. Okay, back to you, Swati.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. So let us take this opportunity that as you can see, we are into the trainings and all. So we would be hosting this ISO 42001 course along with Guru sir and Raju sir as our mentor. And we would be also designing a project which will help you to, understand the practicality of ISO 42001 in both cases, LI and LF. And it will also give you a practical side of it, how the theory part can be mapped with the practical thing. We cannot put you on I tried to have some internship collaboration, but somehow as ISO 42000 is just coming up, it's difficult to find collaborate with somebody for such projects, but I'm trying hard for that too. So if that happens, then also the internship opportunity would be provided along with the course. And we are also providing certification along with the training that is from Exemplar certification body. So probably you can join the group. I'm sharing the details in the chat box. And this is my number where you can reach out for any further queries. And we would be trying to give more of the practical aspect to this training. Other trainings that we provide, we run on the same platform. It's not only the theory thing that we do, and we try to connect the experts like Raju sir and Guru sir, so that everybody would be getting advantage of the whole package that we are providing.
And yeah, I would like to add one more thing actually.
Yes, sir.
So if anyone is interested to get the 42001, do it right now, because the exam pattern is very easy. Initially, you understand, right? Because there is no people available with certification. What they do initially, they will give 50% pass marks now. Maybe generally it will be 70%, right? Any certification. Then if you look at the ISO 27K or 9K, then maybe 65 to 70% pass mark, something like that. And the exam pattern is also very easy, because last time when we are appeared, our batch is 10 people. Everyone got very good marks, they got more than 50 plus. I think I got around 58 out of 60. So the pattern is very easy initially, and passing is not a problem in near future. But the thing is get the certificate at early, so that now few people are available in the world, right? 42K certified people.
Yes.
So that is my advice, right? If you are really interested, take it immediately. Make sure your decision is very fast and do it. So that is my advice. Thank you.
There is very huge demand. The supply is very less these days because of the shortage of trainers. So certified trainers for that matter. So yeah. Any questions, please? We'll wait for another 2 minutes and then we'll wrap up the session.
Hi, this is Viraj here. I have one query. So
Please.
the way we have AI governance standard or framework, do we have any framework for AI security in particular? Like the technical aspect of it?
No, that is already covered as a part of ISMS, right? 27K.
Okay. So
This one is
nothing apart
clear.
from that.
Yes. This is even most of the, because I worked both, we have adopted risk assessment is partially from ISMS. Okay. And here AIMS is a few things this is a new, we adopted the good content from all the certifications. Is from the quality perspective, security perspective, privacy perspective. There are other okay, let me check actually. 1 minute, hold on. Let me pull. Hold on, just I want to share something. There are so many certifications pertaining to artificial intelligence, but all are now consolidated and coming together because I'm pulling the document, just you can see that with one shot how many certifications are available. Just I'm sharing my screen again. Right, let me hold on. Yeah, you can see, right?
Yes.
Like ISO certificates, right? You can see this ISO 5338 information technology. They talk about artificial intelligence, but they talk about AI system lifecycle process. This is already covered in 42K. Earlier, there are different split bit and pieces. You can see here, I have highlighted, information technology, artificial intelligence, guidance on risk management. This is purely we adapted from ISMS. And you can see that 5359-3, artificial intelligence, data quality for analytics and machine learning. This is a part 3, data quality management requirement and guidelines. Now you can see that information 24027, right? Artificial intelligence, it talks about bias in AI systems and AI-aided decision making. Right?
That was the transparency part. Yeah.
Exactly, right? Yeah, overview of the trustworthy and artificial intelligence. See, these are all consolidated, and the data and given in 42K as a comprehensive list actually. Earlier we are going to address all these things, bit and pieces. Now everything is here, of course, they are in detail. There is no question on that. But we talk about life cycle in 42K. Then we talk about risk management in 42K. Then we talk about data quality, right? And data bias. And there is one thing I would like to share quickly. This is, see, these are are you able to see my screen? This one? This is AI governance and compliance audit checklist, right? You can see here, AI governance policy. See, this is the audit questions we are going to ask. Does the organization have document AI governance framework? Okay. Then we will review it based on available. Then we talk about regulatory compliance. Then talk about AI risk management auditing. This is part of, right, AI governance and compliance checklist. Then there is a second category, AI bias detection and fairness audit. Under this again, AI training data bias. This is in-depth details. You got my point? Everything is converted as a part of 42K. Here we consolidated this list a quick checklist for us, because I'm not going to review that 100-page book, right? Book of yeah. They talk about AI security and adversarial attack protection. Then we talk about AI model security and access control, right? Partially it is covered in ISMS, but we adopted that methodology over here when it talks about AI application. Similarly, similarly another category AI explainability and a transparency audit checklist. So what is AI model interpretability and documentation, right? These are the questions, nothing but is a documentation, this one. User and regulatory explain requirement. Then we talk about AI model performance and drift monitoring. This is very, very important, right? The drift is it is not constant. Today is giving 95% and all other evaluation metrics are doing good. And maybe after 3 months, that is going to be deteriorating. Why? That we need to consider that, right? These are related to that. Then when you deployment and post-implementation risk, right? Those are, see, these are phases of the life cycle. We are going to adopt all these validations. Checklist is nothing but everything is a part of, this is a kind of checklist derived from the 42K, right? So that why I'm showing is, it's a quick way of checking the checklist, right? Ethical compliance, responsibility, audit checklist, so that you know what question you have to ask to the client and corresponding document is available or not. Then you say yes or no. Very simple. The AI continuous monitoring like this. Okay. Is it clear? Just thought of sharing so that
it
will understand your beneficial so that, okay, as a part of this training, maybe Mr. Guru will going to cover all this stuff actually. maybe I can come occasionally, come up with the case studies, question papers, how to I have multiple question papers we created actually, question answers, because this is an open book, right? So make sure you get 50 plus, right, out of 60, even though it is a 30 plus is a pass mark, but we should always target high, right? So any questions related to 42K? Because I'm trying to give what we have so that you will understand better. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Any questions? Anybody? Okay. Great. We hope it was helpful to all of you to understand what is AIMS, how it goes, the exam side of it also, and what is demand in the market right now. So thank you so much, Raju sir and Guru sir, for taking up this session and taking out time for all our audiences today on Saturday. So yeah, thank you, and do reach out to us for any queries. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah,
Have a
thank you,
nice day to everyone. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you.